So right up front, I want to really point out that it is my opinion that things are not looking good for the game. I'm not sure what's going to happen in 2024. Shit. I don't think it's...
That's an understatement of 2023, man. That's the understatement of the year.
Going to be fantastic, but other people likely have a different opinion. Either way, before we get too deeply into all of this, we're going to need some context. So let's start with Frontier's recent financial report that released at the end of last week. So Frontier have just announced an operating loss of £26.6 million for their...
Things are getting rough over at Frontier Development, man. After David pretty much resigned and threw his hands up in the air and walked away, things are getting rough over there. Things are getting rough.
The current financial year. This is undoubtedly a huge deal for the company.
No shit.
In turn, this announcement appears to have directly affected the value of the company's shares. Today, as I'm recording this, the share value of Frontier is...
Ooh, man. Ow, man, that looks like crypto. This looks like crypto right now, man. We sure this isn't like Cardano or something? No offense, I love Cardano. But are we sure this isn't a crypto coin going down 73%? Whoo, man, watch out.
Is sitting at around about £2.56, and this is a massive drop from where it started at £9.75 at the beginning of this year. That's a massive drop of over 70% in value. And let's not forget, a few years back, Frontier shares were valued
I got plenty of it, man. I'm just saying. We all feel the pain,
drop
right?
in share price has had a massive impact on the overall value of the...
Listen, I'm a glutton for punishment, man. I've been buying Cardano since $3, $2, $1, 75 cents, 50 cents, 30 cents, man. I've been buying Cardano since I found out about Cardano, dude. And Cardano has done nothing but this. So I get it. I love the technology, but damn, Cardano, do something. What's up? Thank you, just a name change for those biddies, man. I'm gonna buy some more Cardano with it. No, just teasing. I gotta buy food now. I gotta buy food. I'm broke. I know you know it, man. The only Cardano holders can know the type of pain that's involved with holding Cardano. There's a whole nother level of self-punishment. It hurts so bad. Cardano, do something.
Company. Frontier once held a market cap value of over £1 billion, a very valuable company.
Staking all this Cardano.
Today, it sits at just under £100 million. That's a drop of close to £900 million in the markets, or in the company's market value. Right, at this point, I think it's important to mention that...
Right, let's rewind that. Let's rewind that. I gotta see Obsidian Ant do that again.
Drop of close to £900 million in the markets, or in the company's market value. Right, at this point...
Man, this is why Obsidian Ant switched the format and stopped doing all Elite Dangerous videos and started adding Star Citizen videos, man. Obsidian Ant's a smart dude. He saw the writing on the wall ahead of time, and he started covering other sci-fi games the second he saw Elite Dangerous was in flames. And he was one of the very first. I give him credit for that, besides myself.
I think it's important to mention that I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say in this video should be taken as financial advice. It is simply my speculation and interpretation as an unexpert on some of the publicly available data. So do take all of this as you will. Now, at any rate, what does all of this have to do with Elite? And more specifically, what does it have to do with Elite in 2024? Well, the future of Elite is directly tied to the profitability of not only the game itself, but also to Frontier. The more problems and challenges Frontier face, the more potential issues could be possibly ahead for Elite as a game. So here's a few issues that Frontier are currently facing as a company. In their financial report, Frontier confirmed that F1 Manager 2023 had lower than expected initial sales. Now, a few weeks back, I mentioned that I fully expected this to be the case, simply based on the data from Steam charts, and it turns out that was indeed accurate. I mean, just look at the player numbers here for these two games. This in itself really should speak volumes. Another problem for Frontier is that their third-party publishing arm, Frontier Foundry, has been closed. Previously, Frontier said that this business arm has been underperforming. Now, these two issues with F1 Manager 2023 and Frontier Foundry have led to Frontier's operating loss of 26.6 million. So this is a massive concern for Frontier, no doubt about that. Going forwards, it seems that Frontier are re-evaluating their business model. Frontier's CEO, Johnny Watts, said, "Since I took up the baton from David Braben last summer, our board and our senior management team have been investing more time in reviewing our future plans. We are conscious that our financial performance over the last 2 years has not been good enough, and although there is always room for improvement on project execution and operational delivery, I firmly believe that the majority of our financial challenges have been driven by some of the decisions that we have collectively made over the last 5 to 6 years."
All right, I'm going to tell you one of the reasons Frontier Development is in this situation. It is the decisions. Johnny Watts is right. I don't know who Johnny Watts is. He's the new CEO stepping in. And I'm not familiar with Johnny Watts' history, his resume. But I can tell you Johnny Watts is correct that the decisions that have been made over the past, I would say longer than 6 years. I would actually say more like 8. I would say in 2015, they started making some really stupid decisions, man. I was the first to I don't know. I think I was the first to talk about how upsetting it is that Elite Dangerous is filled with elite and no dangerous. I got flamed so bad on Reddit boards, using Reddit back in the day. I stopped using Reddit. I can't stand it. But back in the day, I would be on Reddit. I would be upset. I was a big fan of Elite Dangerous. I was a commander, man. I taught people how to PvP in Elite Dangerous. I had a great series called Bringing the Dangerous, man. Hold on a second. Let me show you. Just so you know that I talk the talk, but I also walk the walk. Let me show you, man. Hold on one second. Bringing the Dangerous. Okay, I was huge into this game. I was huge into it. Hold on. Here we go. You guys can see it right here. I was huge into it, teaching people how to PvP.
Yarr! Welcome back to the games, gamers. This is probably one of my favorite episodes of Bringing the Dangerous ever. I know
back
it's been a while. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I really love the Silence of Space and Elite Dangerous, but a lot of times...
Let me show you the very ending of this, which I happen to like. I was fighting these two guys. I was fighting two dudes. They were teaming up on me, and at the very end, one of them was chasing me back to station.
Jump back to station.
Just right. So we can see the fighting here, so we know that actually
PvP would kind of get freaked out about this. The more you get into these types of engagements, you don't worry about it because you're used to the danger. The danger becomes part of your existence, and it makes the game a lot more interesting. There's a lot more at stake. There's a lot more to lose. There's a lot more reward if you win. Now, obviously, I don't think these guys have anything. They might have a few things because they did pirate the system. You see, I come around here. Or at least I believe that they were pirating the system, so they might have some things in their hold. At this rate, we're just sparring, and that's good sportsmanship right there. Except for Night Tech, you're a little bit mouthy, dude. I really wanted to blow you up. So you did your job, man. You're keeping me there in the fight. Good for you. Down to 53%. They're really wreaking havoc now. And look at how that shield just came on right top. I tell you what, I could have probably blew him up right then and there. Now I'm really in the thick of it. I'm trying to get it. I want that kill. My emotions are getting ahead of me and say, you know what? No. Down to 47%. The other guy's 25-15, so it's a pretty even fight right now. 43% to 40% combined.
Mind you, I'm fighting two people right now in the same ship I'm in. Mind you, I'm fighting two people right now, and I'm lasting as long as I'm lasting. Okay, this is PvP, man, at its finest, and I'm teaching people how to find danger in a game called Elite Dangerous. And I'm on Reddit talking about how there needs to be more of this. There needs to be more interaction. There needs to be more of this in Elite Dangerous because it is, in fact, dangerous and it's space. At the very end, I'm limping back to station. One of them decided to follow me, and this is what happens here.
They're waiting for me in the station. They want that kill. They want the kill to the point where they're going to basically go suicide mode to try and kill me. This is great. So instead of firing back, I'm like...
They're literally shooting at me while I'm landing in the station, man. Watch this shit.
fine. Keep on firing. I can handle the fire. There's one. The other one's coming. So now I'm like a mad dash to the landing pad. If I get to the landing pad, basically I'm invulnerable once I land. So I'm like, you know what? Just focus on the landing. As they shoot me, the station's going to open fire on them for shooting me. I land, boom, woof. And then if you listen, you'll hear the explosions.
Landing gear deployed. Under attack.
It's the first guy. There's the second one. This is a great episode of Bringing the Dangerous, and this is why you have to use your heads, ladies and gentlemen. Now, they probably just did it to do it. You know, good for them. But you know what? They blew themselves up trying to blow me up. Kudos to you. I'm still alive. Nobody has killed me yet. Thank you, everybody, for watching Bringing the Dangerous.
So I'm coming from a background of PvP. I'm coming from a background, like, people don't get this about me. I'm an old dog, man, and I'm always learning new tricks. And like, I love it. I love good PvP, man. You know, people always try and step up to me and say, oh, DG's not that good. He doesn't even play games anymore, man. It's hard. It's hard in my life. I get it. But like, I want you to know where I'm coming from for people that are new to the channel that don't get it. I was teaching people PvP back in the day when nobody taught people PvP. Like, there weren't any channels teaching people how to PvP in Elite Dangerous. There were none. It was just me. And Elite Dangerous's problem was that they had no dangerous. That's the real problem. And that was a decision that David Braben ran with. He wanted it to be all exploration, you know, grind fest, A to B. And I was yelling and I was screaming to Frontier Development. I was directly talking with Frontier Development devs, man, telling them what is going on. In fact, CQC, I would like to say, probably came about because I was so goddamn vocal about it. And the entire, almost, I'll say 80% of the Elite Dangerous community just tried to squelch me. They didn't want to hear what I had to say. They didn't want to hear about the danger. They wanted to do the space trucking. I understand there's a time and place for that. Listen, if you're a space trucker, I get it. You want that A to B shit? You want that grind shit? Okay, you do it. I get it. There's a time and place for that. But like, when you're in space, there should be some element of danger. And I was the dude making people aware of the fucking obvious. The game is called Elite Dangerous, and the experiencing and the experience that you got was elite. Only elite. Elite. It wasn't Elite Dangerous. It was just elite. And the more I started mouthing off and talking about it, the more it pissed off people, and they just didn't want to hear me anymore. Now, are you happy now? Are you happy now? Are you happy now, Frontier Development? Are you happy now? People that are playing Elite Dangerous with the lowest number of players ever, with no player retainment. Are you happy now? Should you have listened? The title of your game is Elite Dangerous. And it's not only Elite Dangerous they did this with, but they've done it with other titles. And that is the problem. In order to fix this, they have to do better. Hopefully this Johnny Watts guy gets it.
Which did not always result in the expected financial outcomes for the company. So it's clear that Watts is accepting that the company has made a spate of bad decisions, something which many players of Frontier games have been saying for many years at this point. It's not all bad for Frontier though. The report goes on to say that they have confidence in the future.
DEFCON is absolutely right. DEFCON, you are absolutely right, dude. The community tried to tell the company what they wanted, and we did. And then the community managers went on stream and told the players, nah, you'll get what we give you. That's exactly what they did, DEFCON. You are exactly 110% correct, dude.
For example, their Warhammer Age of Sigmar game is due to release in November, and meanwhile they currently have 2 more untitled management titles in production, one of these set for release in financial year 2025 and another in financial year 2026. Frontier confirmed that they are going to refocus their attention on titles they know work well. They specifically say that this means their focus will be on what they call creative management games, or CMS. In other words, games like Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster, maybe the Jurassic World games as well. Now, the report mentions very little about Elite Dangerous, but it does confirm that Elite is one of the 4 pillars that have been successful for the company, specifically space simulation games. Right, so we know that Frontier hasn't had a good financial year for 2023. We know that they believe they are facing challenges and that they believe their decisions have affected these things. We know they're focusing their attention on management games going forwards, with an expanded focus on real-time strategy games such as Warhammer. And let's not forget, in 2023 financial year, I think they also purchased Complex Games, the studio behind Warhammer Chaos Demons, a recent game that Frontier published. So what does all of this mean for Elite? Well, here is where it gets all very, very speculative, so do keep that in mind. None of what I say here is official information in any capacity. It's all speculation and opinion, but it is based on educated guesses. Here's how things look to me. To start with, Frontier are concerned about profitability, perhaps first and foremost. They want to focus...
Dude, profitability comes after making good decisions. You got to make the good decisions first, and the profitability comes after. I mean, like, here's the thing. I don't know what line that Obsidian's going on, but I'm just going to give you my opinion on the matter. Profitability happens after you make good decisions. If your concern is profitability first, you're fucked from the get-go. You're fucked coming out of the gate. You gotta actually focus on the community. You got to focus on the gamers that are playing your game, and you got to listen to what it is they're saying. It's a very simple concept in game design. You actually listen to the people who play the game. Boy, what a fucking concept that is. First, you got to do that. You worry about profit last. If you're starting out in your business, you're a game dev right now, and you're worried about profit from the get-go, right out the gate, you're doing it fucking wrong.
Focus on games they know have worked for them in the past, and this seems to suggest they don't want to focus on games they know haven't worked. For example, Odyssey, maybe. For a game to be profitable whilst also maintaining future development, the game needs to have a decent number of players. So, with all of that in mind, here's the problems as I see them when it comes to Elite Dangerous. The first of these issues then is indeed player numbers, and as shown by Steam charts for Elite Dangerous, player numbers have been dropping significantly throughout 2023.
And look at this, Look at this, 24-hour peak. The 24-hour peak is 4,200 players. How many systems are in Elite Dangerous? Billions? Like millions? I'm not quite sure. There's a lot of systems in Elite Dangerous. It's so spread out and shallow. Like, I keep saying this, and people get mad at me when I say this, because they're like, well, DG, this was never intended to be a sandbox MMO. Maybe they should start gearing it that way. Maybe that's why the amount of players on there is only 4,200 and a 24-hour peak, for God's sake. Can you imagine 4,200 gamers spread out but amongst millions and millions and millions of systems? All you ever see are NPC. Again, if that's your style, if that's your jam, that's cool. But there are other players out there who want a little bit more of that player interaction.
Just player numbers have been dropping significantly.
I care. You know why I care? Listen, I care because I came from it and I loved it. I was a fan of it. Sketch? Like, what they've done is desecrate this. They have literally desecrated this and pissed on it. And I am upset for what they have done for a game that I love, because they literally took a giant shit on it.
Throughout 2023. By July 2023, the player numbers were at the lowest point in the game's history. Now, back in July, when I actually pointed this out, there were some other people who were claiming that player numbers appeared to be stabilizing, despite that being quite obviously incorrect. And since then, the numbers have continued to fall. But that said, there has been a slight boost from the 1st of September.
I can't even watch the rest of this. I can't even watch it. No offense against Obsidian. I love Obsidian. I just can't even watch it because I know what's going to happen. They're going to keep making stupid decisions. I hope this new CEO coming in, I can't remember his name, but I hope this new CEO they got coming in actually makes a lot better decisions than what I've been seeing, because it's just trash. Just trash.